The Resident Evil franchise is going to be huge in 2025. We know that there are multiple games in development right now, as well as upcoming remakes and, of course, the highly anticipated Resident Evil 9. Well, we just got a ton of new info on RE9, as well as some insider leaks on other Resident Evil games. You may have heard about one of these leaks, but there's actually more to the story. A recent leaker posted an entire thread giving us more gameplay details on RE9, and even Dusk Golem confirming something that might make a lot of people upset. And I think this might be the first ever RE9 leak that I genuinely do not like. Okay, so I'm sure you guys have heard about the RE0 remake rumors, and the reason why I'm talking about these rumors really quick is because they do play a part in relation to the Resident Evil 9 leaks. So in case you guys didn't know, Resident Evil 0 is getting a remake. Everybody and their mom is talking about it because nobody really expected this. In addition to that though, Resident Evil 0 is apparently getting a live action movie as well. So Capcom wants to release the RE0 movie in 2026, and the reason for this is because apparently the next Resident Evil remake will be RE0. Now this might sound crazy, but we might end up getting 2 Resident Evil game announcements this year. So that raises the question, what are we getting for the 30th anniversary next year in 2026? Well, we might have the answers. So this literally came out just a few days ago from this video being posted. He's either a playtester for Resident Evil 9 or he knows people that playtested RE9, but he posted this long Reddit thread, so I'm gonna read through it. Okay, so he says, Resident Evil 9 is in an advanced stage of development right now. Some gameplay aspects and items still need more time to be polished. There's also a new item in the game, and that's the smoke grenade. Capcom is also taking advantage of the RE engine by pushing it to its maximum potential. We know that Resident Evil 9 is their most ambitious RE game that they've ever made, and we know for a fact that Capcom is upgrading the RE engine to the Rex engine, which is basically just a more advanced version of the RE engine. He also says that there were playtests for RE9 involving Jill Valentine being in the game. Remember what I just said, because that's going to be important later. He then goes on to say that Blue Umbrella will be in the game, and of course the last time we saw this company was in Resident Evil 7, and it sounds like Blue Umbrella is going to play a bigger part in RE9. There were also leaks a while back about moon cults and, you know, enemies worshipping the moon and all these crazy ideas. All of these things and concepts were supposedly supposed to be in RE9, but this leaker is claiming that none of that is true. The leaker then adds that Resident Evil 9 is planning to release in the second half of 2025. So for what it sounds like Capcom is still polishing the game. Like, they really want RE9 to be like as perfect as it can be. I mean, from the leaks, it sounds like they want RE9 to be even bigger than Resident Evil 4. The leaker then goes on to say that RE9 is being treated as the biggest survival horror entry in the franchise. There's also going to be sound grenades in the game. These grenades can be used to attract very aggressive creatures and avoid combat. He then ends off by saying Capcom will tease more things about Resident Evil up until May of this year. So what that sounds like to me is right now it is January. At the time this video is being posted, it is January. So sometime between now and May of this year, we should be getting a Resident Evil announcement, like a big announcement, like a game reveal or something. There are also 2 upcoming gaming events. Well, one of them's a rumor, but the first one is there is a rumored state of play that's supposed to be happening soon. And as we all know, Resident Evil games usually get announced at these state of plays, so I would keep our eyes peeled for this one. Second of all, like I said earlier, the Nintendo Switch 2 is releasing later this year, and there's a rumor that the RE0 remake might come out this year, and it might be a Switch exclusive. So if that's the case, there's also a Nintendo Direct coming out in April. Remember, the leaker did say Capcom is announcing things up until May, and April is before May, so you know, I'm just saying. Now, you remember earlier in the video when I told you guys there was a leak that I just read that I'm actually not happy about? Dusk Golem tweeted out something very concerning. So as you guys know, there has been a massive leak, basically for as long as we can remember, that Leon and Jill Valentine are supposed to be the main playable characters in RE9. This made a lot of people happy because a lot of us, including myself, want to see Jill Valentine in RE9. Well, Dusk Golem tweeted this out. There's a screenshot of something I said that'll probably float float around, I predict. So I'm gonna say it. Jill Valentine doesn't play any major role in RE9, unfortunately. So you're telling me all of these leaks that I've been talking about, apparently Jill isn't in the game? How does that make sense? I mean, playtesters literally said that she's in the game. This is so confusing because I feel like we're hearing two sides of the story. Because on one end, there are leakers that are like, yeah, Jill is in the game and there's gonna be a hospital in the game. And on the other hand, Dust Golem is like, what? No, Jill isn't in the game and there is no hospital. So it's really a matter of who's telling the truth because somebody is and somebody isn't. And here's what I really believe. I do believe that the RE0 remake is coming next. Maybe not the next game, but you know, the next remake. I do believe we are getting a new game announcement this year. It's either going to be RE0 remake or Resident Evil 9. I do believe that the RE0 movie is coming out next year. So we might get 2 game announcements this year. One of those games might even release this year. And we're supposedly getting an RE0 live action movie next year. At this point, I say we just wait. I think the leaks have gotten so out of hand where we should just wait and see what happens. These rumors are getting so bloated and so confusing to the point where I'm just like, you know what? I think it's best if we just sit back, we keep our expectations low, and we just wait to see what Capcom announces officially. But those are just my thoughts, and of course, I'd love to hear yours in the comments.